Just reactions to the draw today and coming off Wednesday's game, kind of where you guys are in terms of the Open Cup.
Yeah, I think we're really pleased with Wednesday's game. It was important to get some players minutes that maybe haven't played as many this season so far. I've talked about it a lot. You know, the importance of everybody in the locker room. Felt it was a good performance. Felt the goal would come. You know, you talk about another shutout from the group. We talk a lot about it. You know, being about the collective, from the goalkeeper all the way to the nine. So, really pleased with that. When you look at the draw. Really excited about another opportunity to host a game here at Lynn Family. We've talked about how important that is for the players to be able to play in front of our amazing fans. And again, it's another opportunity to play a game and advance in a tournament that I've made clear is important to myself, the club, and the players. So all in all, really happy about it.
Were you surprised, maybe as we were, about how the structure of North and Central? It seemed like maybe you could have popped Detroit.
I mean, I gotta look at a map all over again because it didn't make any sense to me, to be honest with you. But again, these are things that are out of our control. I would love to hear the justification of it, but I can't control that. So what I can do is make sure the players are prepared for the next round, and we'll certainly do that.
St. Louis obviously played a team that you guys played in the preseason. How much of that matters going into a game like this?
Yeah, I think, listen, it's I watched them play against Indy. It's a quality team. It's an energetic team. They're very well coached by Hack. When you look at the preseason game, we were playing on a tough field in some very difficult conditions with regard to wind. So not a lot to take from that game from a film standpoint. But we obviously watched them play against Indy. Know them, feel we have a good idea about them now. Again, it's an exciting time. It's a game that you don't win it and you don't move on. So what more motivation do you need than that?
And what is it like to coach against someone that you know so well and that you worked with?
Yeah, listen, he's a very good friend of mine, a mentor of mine. I've learned so much from him. Anytime I know him very well, he knows me very well. It will be competitive, that's for sure. But listen, I'm thankful for him, that's for sure, and I've learned a lot underneath him. But obviously, there's nothing more to that game other than we need to win it, and that's how I'll be going into it.
Danny, how much do you feel this team has kind of taken on the identity that you want to have, like as a coach? Coming from last year, the interim to being head coach. How much do you feel like this team has kind of established what you want them to be?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Listen, it's certainly when you bring in a lot of new players, it takes a little bit of time to integrate, and obviously then you talk about culture and the values. I'm really, really happy with where we're at the moment. I'm really happy with how we're performing. I think I've made it clear there's areas we still need to get better, but that's going to come with time for sure. We have a group of men in there that I can see every single day are fighting to be in the starting lineup. They're fighting to even be in the 18. I have difficult decisions to make, especially once everybody's healthy. So when you look at the group that we've put together at this moment right now, really, really happy, but with the understanding of we can always look to improve.
Danny, how much do you have to, you kind of mentioned your relationship with John, how much do you have to manage your own emotions and feelings when preparing for this and putting them aside?
Yeah, I think that comes with the job and the profession in general. I think I'm a very process-oriented person. I believe that if we continue to stick to our culture, to our values, and our process as we prepare for an opponent every day, then we put ourselves in a position to have success. So, again, I think I've made it very clear how important Hack is to me as a person. But he also knows me well enough to know that I want nothing more than to beat him come whichever day the game is scheduled on.
How difficult is that to manage the schedule and you don't know when you're going to play and things like that? And with this tournament, it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I think with the schedule in general, again, I talked about there's things I can control and there's things that I can't. So ultimately, it's once I do get that date, and I'm sure Jonathan will have that here soon for me. From there, it's putting the plan together, right? I think we have to travel quite a bit here in April, and makes it a little bit more difficult. We'll be going to Loudoun, then across the country to San Diego, then back home, and then to Charleston. There's a lot to that. But what I do know is that we've built a team with a lot of depth. We've built a team where, as I've said, I believe I can start anybody, and I'm comfortable and confident in doing so. When you're fortunate to have that, as I am, then you have a plan, and sometimes plans change. But I'm certainly looking forward to this month ahead. I think it's an important one.
Wilson has netted a few for you guys to start. What has impressed you about him so far this
I
season?
think the biggest thing that's impressed me is his work rate, both in training every day and obviously in games. You know, when we have a lot of data and when you look at the physical side of it and how hard he's working from the first minute to the 90th, I walk away really impressed. Now, don't get me wrong, that's my expectation as well. But, you know, as Cam begins to get healthy here, you're going to continue to see the two of them push one another. They've already done an excellent job of doing that in preseason. And we're really happy with Wilson at the moment. Both, obviously, he's creating chances, he's scoring goals, but at the same time, his defensive work rate has been impressive.
How's Cam feeling now? Like, where is he in his process?
Yeah, we're really happy with where he's at. He's coming along every day. You know, he's been integrated a little bit more into training, where he's getting a little bit more touches on the ball, a little bit more, let's call it live action, where he's got to defend as well as attack. We're happy with that. I don't want to put a timetable on it because I don't want there to be any pressure from me with regard to his injury. He will be back as soon as Stu and him feel fully confident in how he's feeling.
You all have played so well defensively to start the season. As a coach, you've got to love the way you're performing on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I think the mentality has been excellent. The fight for one another, the tackles late in games, the bite that everybody's playing with. You asked me a little bit about do I feel the identity of the group is coming together, and when I see that, it certainly makes me feel like a group of players that is coached by me, and that's something that is really important to me. I say it all the time. Players are going to make mistakes. It's normal, but if you have the right mentality in the fight, I can live with those mistakes.
I know there's always so much you can go into with how John ended up leaving. It was kind of abrupt. Did how that end impact how he's thought of here, or vice versa, how he thinks of the club whatsoever?
I can't speak for him. What I can say is that, as I've said before, him and I are extremely close. We've remained extremely close. You know, he will always be a friend and a mentor to me. And at the end of the day, I know, because knowing him, whether it was coming here or whether it was going to Minnesota, it doesn't matter who he's going to play against. He wants nothing more than to win. And for me, it's the same. So it'll be an exciting game. Two teams that I know are gonna push one another. And you know, the rest of the stuff, I think, will take care of itself.
What's been the team's reaction to knowing that they're facing him?
Again, the team is very much didn't matter who it was that we were playing against. For them, it's another opportunity to win a game and hopefully be able to host another one. You know, and ultimately there's a trophy on the line, and I can promise you there's nothing that I can say that motivates that group in there more than knowing that at the end of a tournament there's something to lift. These guys are professional. They don't care who we're playing. They just know there's going to be someone standing in their way to getting a trophy, and hopefully they come out you know, with that type of fire that we've talked about, because you know, this tournament is important. I've had some really good memories in this tournament and some really, really bad ones as well. So hopefully our players can make another memory and put us in a position to host another game.
Danny, what do you think it has been about Niall that he has had the long career that he's had, and obviously the impact he's had on this club?
I think his professionalism, his demeanor every single day, you know, when that guy loses in anything, whether it be a rondo, whether it be a game, the reaction is the same. Meaning, for him, losing on a Saturday is just as bad as losing in a 5v2 exercise. And his mentality, his leadership for the group is something that has been invaluable. And there's no surprise to me that this team has had success for as long as it has when you have players like him and obviously others that have been here a long time in that locker room every day. And it should be said that when you talk about culture and integration of new players, guys like him are crucial in that.
You just kind of spin it forward to Sunday and Loudon. How much of a difference does it make when you play a weekend game and it's coming off a Wednesday to a Sunday versus a Wednesday to a Saturday? Does it give you any more freedom on your decision making and availability?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is recovery and seeing how guys' legs respond. You know, obviously Amadou T, he's had a lot of minutes this week, so we need to make sure that we're managing that. As I said before, you have a plan, but obviously it can change and be dictated a little bit based off of how players are feeling. You know, we're coming up against an opponent that has had success this year already. It's a good team. it's a well-balanced team and that they have some young players, but they also have a few more experienced players than maybe they did last year. So we're expecting a tough test. Obviously, a long travel for us, but it's another opportunity to continue the performances that we've had, and 3 points are on the line. So.
Preseason expectations are what they are, but with Loudon, I would say that they're overachieving in the eyes of many people. What have you seen change in that organization from maybe the last time you saw them in 2020? I think they came here and didn't have a full bench, and how they're contending in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I think, first of all, a lot of credit to Ryan, their coach. He's done an excellent job. They're well organized. I think, to your point, a little bit different this year than maybe last year. You can tell with the players that they've brought in that they're certainly going to compete and win a lot of games this year. Then when you look at the first team players that they're bringing down from DC United, those players have played a heavy role in some of the positive results that they've had so far. So as I've spoken to you guys before about, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to prepare for individual players because of how their club operates. But at the same time, it's clear how they want to play. And I think when we talk about preparing for an opponent, that becomes the most important.